Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl LA, and I am back with another video. So in this video we are going to be going over all of my recent reads that I've read, actually from a while ago, but we'll skip the one that was a while ago, over the past couple months. In total I have, let me see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 plus that one, so I have 7 books to review for you guys. So if you want to hear about all the books I've read recently, go ahead and keep watching, and let's get into it. First things first, got to get thumbnail. So these are all the books we read, and let's get into it. So we're gonna start with the one that I read first, and that is Remembrance, Can I Speak, by Rita Woods. And this is also, excuse me with the looking down, I have my notes in front of me, so that's why I'll be looking down. So this is Remembrance by Rita Woods, and it is a contemporary historical fiction. It is 416 pages, and it's about 4 women, and it is set across 3 different time periods, 3 different places. And basically we are following the lives of each of these individuals. So there's one that takes place in present day Ohio. There's one that takes place in the 1700s in New Orleans, if I'm not mistaken. No, the 1700s is Haiti, and then the 1800s is New Orleans. And you're just following along the story of these 4 women. 2 of them are in the same place. And yeah, you just go through their life and figure out in the end obviously how they're all connected. This book is heavy on the history, like it truly is a historical fiction. And overall I thought this was a okay book. Truthfully, I struggle bust through it a little bit. It actually took me longer than I'd like to admit. It's an embarrassingly long amount of time of how long it took me to read this book. But in the end, overall, I think I gave it 1 star on Goodreads when I freshly reviewed it. But now thinking back and talking about it, I think I bump it up to at least 2 stars, because I think that review or that rating is a little biased, because I'm not one who likes history too much. I don't too much care for it. It was like literally my least favorite subject in school. Like, me and history just, we don't get along. So it's not my particular cup of tea. However, for someone who loves historical fiction, loves following multiple different timelines, multiple different characters, multiple different time periods and places, this would be the book for you. So would I just recommend it off rip? No. But if you're somebody who likes those things I talked about, then absolutely I say pick it up. Especially because, hey, you supporting a Black author, and you supporting a Black female author at that. And any opportunity we get on this channel to support my fellow Black women, we gonna do it. So that was the first one. 2 stars, not off to a great start. Okay. Next book I read is Slay. And this is by Brittany Morris. Yes, Brittany Morris. And this is a YA. It is 321 pages. And it is about this young girl. Well, young, yeah, she's in high school. And basically she designs a video game. And it's a video game that's exclusively for Black people. And long story short, nobody knows that she's the video game designer, and there's some things that happen, some things that unfold, I don't want to spoil anything, to where eventually it comes out that she is the game designer, and that just causes a lot of riffraff. I thought this book was fun. I thought it was interesting. I flew through this. It is very YA, so if you're somebody who doesn't like to read things that read like what they are, like YA, if you don't like younger fiction and younger reading type of books, then I wouldn't say this is for you. But I don't mind it. I like those, you know, palette cleansers, easy to read type of books every once in a while. So I thought it was super good. overall, I think, what was my rating? I gave this book 4 stars, and it's like a solid 4 stars. So yes, I would recommend this one. All right, next book we read is Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen, and this is a YA fantasy book. It is 320 pages, and it is the first book in the series. I think the series is, I want to say the second book to this is called Soul of the Deep. I'll insert a picture of it. And this one was a bit harder for me to follow as well. Again, I think that's just because I'm not too much into fantasy. I didn't know it was fantasy when I picked it up. Literally, I just saw a black girl on the cover, and if we ain't figured it by now, say it with me. If it's anybody black, I'ma buy it. Pretty much. So, unless it's like devil stuff, I don't do that. But I love the cover. It's absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, stunning. I think it's one of the prettiest books I own, arguably. So yeah, but this book, back to the story, is about a black black girl, final answer, and she is a mermaid. There's a technical name for it, and I don't want to misquote it, but yeah, she's a mermaid, and she dang, I don't want to like give anything away in my review, but basically she's a mermaid, and she doesn't start out that way. She comes into her being a mermaid. In the story, you find out why. I don't think it says it, so I don't want to tell it. Wait, let me see real quick. Okay, yeah. Doesn't say why. But yeah, so technically what she's called is a Mami Wata. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Please forgive me if I am pronouncing it wrong, because I do believe that this book is based on some like actual, I don't know what it's called because it's not my thing, but it's based on something loosely relatively true regarding like Mami Wata and spirits and mermaids and that type of thing, deities, etc., that are in that culture. So please don't come at me if I'm like referencing something wrong or like politically incorrect about something. I'm not educated on that type of stuff. So yeah, so it's about that, and basically her job as a Mami Wata is, I should stop saying that because I might be saying it wrong, but her job is to collect the souls of the dead and to like help them pass on, you know. And what happens in the story is there's a living person thrown into the water, and she ends up picking him up and saving him as opposed to allowing him to pass, which is like against what she's supposed to do, like against the rules or whatever. So this follows that story, and it unfolds with kind of like their journey, their story, them together, all that good stuff. And I'm gonna stop there because I don't want to spoil anything. But overall, like I said, it was a pretty good book. It just, fantasy isn't really my thing, my taste. So I ended up giving it 3 stars. But that's not to say it's a bad book. I'd recommend it to anybody who fantasy is their thing, because I do think that it was good as far as being a fantasy book. It just wasn't good for me, which is why I gave it 3 stars. So Skin of the Sea, Natasha Bowen, yes, I recommend. All right, the next book we read was Speculation by Nisi Shaw. And this is, again, a YA fantasy. Did I know it was fantasy when I picked it up? No, but say it with me. If it's black, I'ma buy it. Okay? So I seen the black girl on the cover, and it was on sale for like, I don't know, maybe $3, $5 at the most at half price books. So I definitely was buying it, and it's a hardcover, and it was in new condition, not even used. So couldn't pass it up. But yes, again, it is a YA fantasy. This one is 240 pages. I was looking at my notes on the wrong part. This is a middle grade fantasy though, so a bit younger than Slay, and it is also a ghost story. So this one, we follow a young girl who is in middle school or high school, can't remember, but if high school, only like a freshman, and she gets these spectacles from her either grandmother or grandfather. And basically what they do, before I spoil anything, okay, yeah, it does tell you. So the spectacles are magic, and they allow her to see certain things. I won't go into what, because I feel like that might be a little bit of spoiling it.
Spoilers.
But basically, what she does is through these spectacles and being able to see what she can see, she's going through her family's history and discovering some things, unpacking some things, and helping a certain thing get closure. That's the best way I can put that without spoiling it. It's only 240 pages, so it's hard to like say anything or review and like share details without spoiling the whole book. But this one, I think I gave 4 stars. Yeah, so it's a middle grade, so I felt like I couldn't be too harsh with my rating. But as far as being middle grade and like the content of the story and just, you know, keeping me engulfed in it, I thought it did a really great job of that. Not exactly 5 stars, because for me, a 5 star is something I want to reread, and I wouldn't necessarily reread it, but I definitely recommend it to anybody and everybody. And I liked it in its fantasy. So, and it's a historical fantasy at that. Well, it had tidbits of history in it. And as you know from one of the other books I reviewed, not the biggest fan of history. So the fact that I was able to enjoy this book and read it as quickly as I did, definitely a 4-star read. Definitely would recommend. Yes. All right. And then the next book we read was Girl on Fire by Alicia Keys. So this is actually a graphic novel. Let me flip through a little bit so you can see. Yeah, I did not know this was a graphic novel when I picked it up. This was on the shelf with Slay, and it again was brand new, hardcover, and on sale for either $3 or $5. And I am an absolute not stan, but I do love Alicia Keys, so I definitely want to support. And again, anything black, a buy. Yes. So this book is basically about this girl right here, and she's on fire, and she's like fighting, I don't want to say fighting crime, because it's not really so much fighting crime, but there's some stuff going on with her dad and her brother. There's a little bit of like magical, mystical things in it. I feel like it's hard to review graphic novels, but just know this was good, okay? It's only 217 pages, and I read it in like 30 minutes in one sitting. Really good, highly recommend. Gave it 4 stars. Honestly, I'd give it more like 4.5 stars, but Goodreads doesn't let you do 4.5, or if it does, I don't know how. If it does and somebody watching this knows how, please let me know. But yeah, this was really good. 4.5 stars. Nice little quick easy read. Palette cleanser if you need in between. That's all there really is to say about it. All right, then the next book, second to last book we read, was Black Girls Must Be Magic. Do we see the theme here? Do we see the theme? Every single book had a black girl on the cover. Was I aiming for this theme at first? No, but after the 3rd book, I was like, well, we here now, we might as well just go with it. So I just started pulling books off my shelf with black girls on the cover, and that was what this time of reading was. So, Black Girls Must Be Magic by Jane Allen. This one is okay, so funny story. When I got this book, I didn't know it's actually the 2nd book in the series. The 1st book in this series is called think. Oh goodness.
Did you just have a brain fart?
Oh, I believe the 1st one is called Black Girls Must Have It All. I'll insert a picture. And then the 3rd one is Black Girls Must Die Exhausted, which I actually have that one. Hold on, I'll show you. So this is the 2nd book in the series, Black Girls Must Die Exhausted. I need to get the 1st one. But anyways, back to the review for this one. So this one is a contemporary fiction. It's 272 pages, and reading it before I read the first one, I didn't really realize like it can read like a standalone. I guess if I would have read the first one first, I would have had a little bit more background information, but I was still like perfectly fine following the story. This was another one that I just like really ate up. I read it so fast, like it went quick. The chapters weren't too long, because that's something I don't like. I don't like long chapters. I need short chapters. That way when I need to take a break, I don't gotta read 20 more pages before I can bookmark, because I hate stopping in the middle of chapters. Make it so that I can stop at the end of a chapter. That makes sense.
You feel me? Well, I feel it.
But anyways, so this one, I don't know why I'm like having a hard time to remember because I read it so long ago, but it follows a girl and or a woman rather, and basically it's about her and her high school sweetheart who they aren't together or in a relationship, but they kind of have like a situationship going on, and eventually the situationship ends, and then something happens which causes them to be a little bit more serious. They like get reconnected and all that good jazz. So again, don't want to say too much to spoil the story. Just know it's really good. Highly recommend. Again, another 4 stars. If I could give it 4.5 on Goodreads, I would. But again, I don't know how to do that. So that was this one. And then the last book I read, which I don't have a physical copy of here because I actually read it at my job, but I'll insert a picture. It's called An Anchor for the Soul, Help for the Present, Hope for the Future. So this one is an outlier. It doesn't fit in with the theme of everything else. But it was just a book that I had came across at work, and it was like really short, and I had time to read it in between things here and there. But this book is by Ray Pritchard, I think it's his name. Not sure if I'm saying that right, but it is a Christian literature book. It's 110 pages, and basically what this book is, it's like a beginner book for new believers and new Christians. Like if you're new to the faith, if you're new to Christ, if you're new to being a believer and a follower of Jesus Christ, this book is for you. Now me, I've been a believer and a follower of Jesus Christ ever since I could know and understand what that meant, which was like 11 years old, maybe younger. But despite that fact, it still was a nice refresher, I guess I would say, just in a lot of the things that it talked about, a lot of the subjects. It was a lot of golden nuggets in there, a lot of reminders, and I actually, as soon as I read it, gifted it to one of my aunts who recently gave her life to Christ, or rededicated her life to Christ, because it was just that good. I gave this book 5 stars because it honestly was perfect. Like I mean, I guess nothing's perfect, no book is perfect, but if I had to pick a book that was perfect, it would definitely be this one. It was just really good, really great. It was really easy to read. It had great features in it, so it didn't just have the, you know, reading that the author wrote for you to read like novel style, but it also had scripture references and scriptures. It also had reflection questions at the end, reflection questions at the beginning, different thought-provoking things all throughout the book. And again, it was only 110 pages, went by really fast. So highly recommend. Even if you're not a Christian, and you're just curious about Christianity and our faith and being a believer or follower of Jesus Christ, and like what that is, what that looks like, why we, you know, choose to do so, any type of things like that. If you're just curious overall, I recommend it for you as well, because it gives you a little bit of insight into our faith, and what we believe and why we believe. So highly recommend. This will be one of those books that I think about forever, that I'll probably recommend forever, and continuously gift over and over and over to people, just because I feel like it's one of those books that you can give to someone who even may not necessarily be a reader, but it's a book that even non-readers could read, if that makes sense. So without further ado, that is all of the books I read over the past couple of months. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you are enjoying your time here on this channel. Go ahead and leave me some comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Let me know what else you'd like to see from me. You know, like, share, turn on your post notifications if you like. Do all the things. And I will see you in my next video. Bye. Oh wait, no, that's not how I say bye. Bye.